All right, so let's get started with the presentation. So first of all, I want to introduce you, everyone, also my own personal AI twin. So I'm Valto Loikkanen, one of the co-founders here. And basically with this QR code here, you can access, you can scan it with your mobile and you can access my own AI twin. That you can also have a conversation, interactions, and anything that you would like to ask or learn about our business or AI twins or AI or myself and so forth. So basically showcasing here also the AI twins in action. So this is one way, for example, to utilize these personal AI twins as an interactive counterpart to basically support the work or materials being delivered. So for today, we'll start first a little bit of the market shift where we are, and then we specifically focusing on the understanding the knowledge-based AIs, how they are different from the kind of the most commonly known tools like ChatGPT at the moment. And then we do the showcase briefly on the talking product AI and personal AI twins that are these types of knowledge-based AIs. And then finally also how to build your own for your own testing, whether it's for your personal use or for your work use or for your products. So starting with the market shift, this is a very kind of top-level view on the landscape that we are currently living at. So it's important to identify kind of where we are today, where has this new era of AI started, where we are now, and where are we heading with this. So basically, at the very initial step, the AI has started in an experience like ChatGPT and specifically this generative AI and large language models based experience. So it feels very much like a traditional application when it comes to using for it, but also obviously very capable in the functionality of what it can do. Currently, we are in this phase of transitioning to the world of AI assistants and AI agents. It doesn't mean the applications go away, but it's just going to even a more advanced level and kind of new opportunities creating that. And then when we have more of these AI agents and AI assistants, not just applications, that together will form this agentic AI, a network of AI agents or ecosystems out of this. So this is basically where the new era has started. We are about in the middle phases now, and the future is very much coming at very fast speed. So in this context, it's important to recognize kind of two main ways of thinking where these are positioned and how these can be considered. So we are often commonly using this internally or privately on our side, or then inside the company for productivity, like the co-pilots from Microsoft or Google Geminis and so forth. And then there's the other side of the customer facing side. So think of that as your businesses, customers, or the market side in that sense, where your customers would interact with AI that you put out. And so in our products and services, we specifically want to focus on the customer side, on the market side activities most, because that's where there's biggest opportunity for our customers, for you. And on the productivity side, there's more of the companies and services being provided like co-pilots and so forth for organizations' internal productivity. But that internal productivity actually doesn't really generate business growth. It just improves your efficiency and potentially profitability, but not really generating new business opportunities and revenue. So basically, when we look through this lens, that kind of transition that is happening on applications to AI agents and this AI ecosystems, agentic AI, where these agents are having conversations with each other directly. And we think this from this both sides, it's happening on both sides. And it is to be seen which side will move faster, whether there is going to be more AI agents on the customer side, our customer side, your customer side, then there's going to be AI agents on the service side providing those customers. So this is going to be very kind of a development that happens equally on both sides, but obviously with very different pace when it comes to industry, geography, companies specifically, big and small and medium and so forth. But this is all happening, and here is where the new business is won or lost, and the existing businesses are being disrupted, protected, or renewed or lost. So when we look from this kind of comparison of this kind of new AI from the lens of previous transition, depending on your kind of personal journeys, at some point in your life and your business, you have got your email, and email obviously has become an essential way to communicate or reach out to anyone in the world. And the key aspect of the email is that you own it and you control it, what email tools you use to manage your email, but the email per se is yours. Same with the phone number. Whenever the phone number has been there, it has since been there and continues to be a key part of the communication. These personal AIs or AI agents on the service side will become equally representing a new dimension where everyone will have their own AIs for different purposes, and they will become as essential in the future as these core digital assets are for us today. So with all of this in mind, it's important to understand that this future will wait for no one. It's basically in a positive or negative side, is in no one's control to say how fast or slow this should move or will move. It is happening and it is going fast and everywhere. So basically the only thing that a company, individual, even a country can do is basically to decide what is their own position into this new world and how do they navigate that. So let's look at a little bit to understand better what is the difference between the AI applications and the AI agents. So consider this as the first moment when you perhaps started using ChatGPT. You are using application that is behind the user interface. And initially, this was basically directly connected to this a large language model that was trained with the all information of the internet. And pretty much it was asking questions and this large language model directly responding. Next thing that you may have noticed or not, but what has happened is that these large language models are not capable of, for example, real-time information, or they are not necessarily good in math or design. So then there's other models and other tools that have been connected with this large language model, for example, to be able to do search in the background or do separate calculations with traditional calculation methods or softwares, and then embed those back to the responses that they give. So basically adding tools for the AI. The next level is then introducing memory. So beyond just the context memory that is in the dialogue or in the individual thread, to basically start saving the interaction information and longer information into the mix that then this LLM, large language model, can also tap into. And ultimately then beyond these, to also start connecting external applications like announcements from ChatGPT for Shopify and other things that, or travel portals or whatnot, that then can start to connect. And this is how also the ecosystem starts to emerge. When we take these things behind the user interface and when we package them into this kind of independent entity, this now becomes the AI agent or assistant. So it is dependent on what types of things are included to that or connected to that. But basically, you can think that now, instead of you using it like an application that you have an interface, this becomes an agent that have these same capabilities, and then you can start defining what is its purpose, what can it do, the boundaries, and so forth. And then you can start connecting these agents to each other, where one agent is giving instructions to another agent or doing requests from another agent and so forth. So these AIs are basically then becoming these types of digital personas. They are still simply applications, but they are in a new form. So now when we establish such AI agent into its own shape, we give them a role. So we basically give them what their characteristics are, what their purpose is. We give them memory or knowledge. So we give them the information that they should operate based on or with. We give them capabilities like those tools that they should have access to using beyond the LLM model itself. And then we give them access rights, what it can do, what it can't do. Similarly, as you give access rights to your files, or you give access rights in your organization for different people, admin, view only, comments, and so forth. And then we set their kind of boundaries of what they should do and what they should not do. And if you look at these look very much the same as you would give for any employee in an organization. They have a title, they come in with the knowledge that they have captured in their own education and learning, and you enrich that with your organization knowledge, you give them tools to use, and then you give them access right and boundaries, and basically your company values and so forth. So this, now when we combine multiple of these AI agents, it becomes agentic AI, and these agents can collaborate internally inside an organization. Think of like an organization chart, but with AIs. And of course, they can collaborate with external AI agents, like you would connect with your suppliers, partners, customers, and so forth. So at individual's personal level, it becomes that everyone will have their own personal AI that will be truly personal for them. So every individual will have their own. And then their AI agent can connect with other agents, and these other agents can also sit on your side, or they can be temporarily used, or they can be on the service side. But basically, you want to have one primary agent that is able to work with you the closest, and then interact with other AI agents as needed. So you can think of AI twin as such type of primary agent that you can build for your own use, for your own personal needs, with your own personal information for this future world, that where this AI twin represents you and your best interest in this agentic AI and AI ecosystem in the future. So its purpose is purely to be on your side and represent your best interest. Now then, on the company side, you will have opportunity to create AI agent and assistant, give it a role, and as said, create these for different purposes as needed. Here, the difference is that this is basically owned and managed by the entity. So whatever that entity is, a startup or a big organization, small, and typically it has more people behind it than just an individual itself. And this is basically the new type of interface that will emerge, that there will be agents on both sides, and these agents can have conversations on the background so that it doesn't require that things only happen when the person is active on the other side, regardless whether that's from the organization side or the individual side. And of course, with this, as it unfolds, one AI agent can be active with unlimited number of AI agents in the world, how many they have access to, or there's interest by the owner of that. And they can have these conversations in any language for any purpose for on the background 24/7, thousands of connections at the same time if needed, because it's all just software and technology. Depending on how these will be built out, provided, and for what purposes people want and organizations want to use them for. Equally, on the other side, on the service side, one agent can service multiple AI agents from the customer side. And basically, this creates a scenario that in most cases in the future, the customer is not necessarily anymore going to be a human. It's going to be the AI agent of the human, a machine customer interacting with your products and services. And basically, you can also imagine scenarios where there's going to be AI agents that are trying to interact with your business, and then you don't have an AI on business side, so you have humans serving the machine customers. And when we combine these together, now these create the agentic AI networks and AI ecosystems, depending on how the terminology is used in different parts of the world and how these terms will evolve. The most important thing is to understand kind of the conceptual models of how this is unfolding. And very overlooked thing in this world is that these AIs don't care about the language. They are language agnostic when they interact. And this means all the human language, but also machine language. So these AIs can talk machine language with each other and human language with humans, and they can talk any of the human language and so forth. So one key thing is when you combine that previous picture and this picture, it means that your customers' AI agents can be shopping any parts of the world and still communicate you with your own language. So in the most parts, when we think the digital market and the digital world, we think it as global and without boundaries. But the reality is that still the digital world has been highly limited by different languages. So mostly Spanish people buy from Spanish companies in Spanish language, and Finnish people do the same. English is the kind of second language for a large group of people. But now you can think that my AI agent that I talk in Finnish could be buying products in Poland, and I don't need to worry about that. It's basically become seamless. So you can imagine products, for example, that are equally available in any other countries, that the boundaries of where the AI agent goes to the transaction and where the business will actually happen will significantly change in this future picture. So basically, since the AI can bring any persona into life, this can be associated, the AI agent can be associated with any kinds of things, from people, places, products, and so forth. So now we turn into what is then the most important thing in this new world from any individuals or organizations perspective, and understanding these knowledge-based AIs. So if we look at the history of technology, it has always been about information and communication and technology. the technology is often overemphasized because no technology is actually meaningful if it doesn't hold information or it's not used for communication. Think of it like an empty shell with no content inside. If you ever launch a CRM or a project management tool that has no projects in it or doesn't have any client information in the CRM, it's pretty useless software, because the point of the software and the technology is to serve the information and communication purposes. So if we remove the information, the very essence of all technologies become irrelevant. If we think how these AIs become to work, there's a direct connection between AI, this large language model, and the data information that they are trained with. So basically, it also means that none of these models would exist if the information would not be available to train them and make them what they are. So this means that if there is no data, there is no AI, and if there's poor data, there's poor AI. So to make clarity between the large language models and then these knowledge-based models, first, these large language models are so-called base models, and they are trained by huge amounts of money by these huge companies to create these large language models. Think of it that way, that the knowledge and information is embedded into the AI model itself. Once it's built, it cannot be anymore removed. So you can't remove the knowledge from there. It is what it is, and it only has the information that was provided up to that point. The next level is fine-tuning. Fine-tuning is taking existing large language model and then customizing, further training it with additional information, and then it can become specialized. Think of it that like you go to the basic school and then you go to the university to specialize yourself in certain disciplines. But these are all still trained models. The knowledge base is based on such where you actually use the large language model as an interface to communicate with information and data that you have on your side. So these are based on this LLM as an interface and then retrieval aspect. So here, instead of embedding all that knowledge into the model itself, you use the model as a communication layer with the information that you hold on your side. And this is knowledge-based AIs. In the world where we already have significant open source models, like from Meta, the Llama model, or from DeepSeek, their models, and many other open source models in the world, it basically means that anyone can go to a GitHub and get a copy of world's information, large language model, put it in their own laptop or computer and run it that way. So there is no competition with information anymore that is openly available. Everyone can have their own copy of the entire world's information in their company. Anyone can put an LLM model, build these tools, put them out, and the big boys are competing in this field, obviously. So what is left is your own information. So the only information that is your competitive, the only thing that is your competitive advantage is your own information. So information that is created by your company, it's the knowledge that you create inside your company, it's your personal information, all of the information that you know in your personal capacity if you're in the individual, and then as a company, your product information, your entity information, your customer information, all of that is your competitive advantage. Because when you combine the world information with your own information, now you have something unique that others don't have. You cannot compete with the same information that everyone else has. So your own information is your competitive advantage. And you should start thinking it that way going forward. So Equally, the only way that you can own your AI is to own the information that make it yours. So if you don't have your own information in organized way, in a reusable way to feed your AI, then basically you are just using generic models and someone else's information that everyone else has as well. So that also means that if you don't have this in your control, you don't own your AI, it means that someone else owns the AI that you use. Equally, if you feed all of your information voluntary to other AIs that you use, it means that then your information is out of your control, and it means that the AI that you become dependent on is owned by and controlled by someone else. It doesn't mean that you need to lock all the information down. It just means that you should do this in your own decision, in your own terms, and you should always have your information organized so that you can decide how much you want to share that in which tools and how. So that you can have true means of controlling your own information and keep that competitive advantage in your own control. You can freely put it out, but you should at least have your own copy always in a format that is useful in the agentic AI world. So now it's this analogy of how do we want to play the game in this new world. As said, it's not waiting for anyone, it's happening, and we need to decide what we want to do in our own business and in our personal life in this world. So in the knowledge-based models, we have these two products that you also get to have access to play around with your own and get started with. And we'll show how these basically offer a starting point. So first, we can think through these two lenses. You can have one on your personal side that is representing a real persona or real person, identity and their information and their life, basically. And then this artificial AI persona that is more on the service side, and it can be made to basically represent anything, the entire entity, company, or individual product or service or group of products, segment, and so forth. So on the case of talking product, this is applicable, of course, then to any type of product, also service products. It can be for things like washer that lives 10 years in people's home. It could be helpful for that entire time, not only in the purchase moment. It can be for venues and places to navigate. It can be for locations, buildings, homes, consumables, foods, cars, and so forth. So it's really applicable. Each of these obviously have different opportunities and different types of dialogues that will happen and different types of consideration. And of course, multiple different providers and brands who could build this and will build this into the future. And then on the personal side, this can be used for all kinds of different people. Obviously here also just as a helpful example, when putting these into different types of roles, it's easy to associate how a different person in their different aspect of life would utilize their personal AI in their own context. So the key components to simplify these agents is that you have your knowledge base, and this should be something that always, regardless of what AI you use, our AI or someone else's, you should always start with the knowledge base and start building that and making sure that your knowledge base is yours. That's your competitive advantage in the future, because that's the only thing you have that others don't have. Then you have the AI personality. Think this as the software itself, how it acts, how it behaves, how it communicates, basically giving it the identity and personality that exist. And then the third is the information that you can get from the actual interactions that the AI is having. So these are the three key components of any of these knowledge-based AI systems that are owned by you, controlled by you, and made by you for the purpose you define. And then one key aspect on the personal side is that we are collaborating with Prefina, which is the personal data technology provider, one of the most advanced in the world. Basically, their whole aspect is to make sure that personal information remains as ownership of the individuals. So basically making sure that that also individuals have the opportunity to own their information and therefore own the AI. Here's how you can incorporate the talking product into any product. It's very simple by adding a QR code into packaging or brochures or website. This can be scanned with any mobile phone without any applications needed separately, and immediately it opens an interactive discussion with the AI. The QR codes are accelerating fast in the world. Basically, these are already 1 year, almost 1 year old statistics from one of the most recent ones. You probably see QR codes more and more everywhere where you also interact, and when you start to pay attention to them, you start to see them even more. But usually the experience behind the QR codes are quite poorly designed, quite lousy. Typically, there is a website of the product, which then you should expect to navigate with your phone, or there's some competition, or lotteries, or these types of commercial things that are not really what the customer would probably like to have. They are more from the promotional aspect, what the companies want to push for. So basically, this is the simple experience. Adding the QR code in the product, opening the interface, and start interacting with the product itself. Here is one example. This is a Finnish sauna scoop. Basically, it can tell its own story, what it is, what it does, and this is one of the examples that we have done. It's a fun product because it can tell and communicate about the sauna product, but also the experience and so forth. And this applies from individuals to all the way to ecosystem level or devices and so forth, as mentioned before, and then across, again, different languages, any languages. If we go to the personal side, currently the world, the digital world, years problem, mainly from the individual's perspective, where we don't control our information. Times, if not misused, at least used for double standards for mainly targeting ads and so forth for us. So if we purely put our own selfish individual hat on, I don't think any of us, regardless of our own business, would like our information to be misused, or at least our children's, and continuing in this future. So this also creates a opportunity for how this can be done in a better way. So this is kind of a good reflection of how our digital selves exist in the online world. Others keep more data about us than we have in our own control, and then the value that we gain is speed, that we should keep scrolling and scrolling for value. It's a simple exercise. If you try to do a search in Facebook, it's not really good customer experience, intentionally so. A lot of the historical information that we could find valuable from our side is not really something that they want to optimize, because that takes your attention away from the feed. So basically, converting this is that we should minimize the data that others keep about us, and then improve the value that we gain from our own information directly. This doesn't again mean that we should not give our data when it's justifiable for the service purposes, but it should be only shared for that purpose for that time, and we should have our holistic data on our side in our control. Our personal information is vast and a lot in different dimensions. So think of all of our personal information from all aspects of life, from our entire lifetime. So before we are born, there's information that we are coming. We start to, medical records start tracking our being, and then there's a legacy we leave behind once we're gone, whether that's for our family members, extended relatives, or if we produce something significant like Elvis, for example. I think they will continue to live for quite some time. So there's assets created and information, again, that is valuable. So these personal AI twins basically are the digital reflection of our physical self. And most importantly, what makes us us, not only the appearance and body, but what we have, our knowledge and personal information that makes us who we are. We can then use these AI twins in different ways. The key aspect is, again, the knowledge that makes our AI different from someone else's AI, what makes it unique. And that's, of course, all of the things that make us unique, who we are. Here's then how you can use also personal AI in the context of work. For example, a lawyer can help expand their self in different languages, make their expertise available in digital format 24/7, and then basically provide the personal service at the more detailed level, or at the concluding time of the service provided. So it helps to extend and do more parts and enable more access to our knowledge, while also people who use it know that this knowledge comes from this specific expert individual. And this can be applied in different ways for different work and businesses as well. So that's basically from the aspect of the market and knowledge-based AIs, and specifically through the lens of talking products and personal AI twins. So now basically what we want to go through is how can you build your own, how to get started with your own journey. So the startup is very simple. So the use of this tool is made to be very user-friendly and easy. It basically takes only some minutes to set up, but the whole point is that it takes entire lifetime to evolve, because you can continue to add more information to it, keep improving it, and keep creating for more purpose and more use for it. So initially, you just upload the knowledge, and your twin is born. You can use it, and through the interactions, you can see where you use it, for what purpose, and what interactions it's having. You can continue to improve the knowledge for as long as you keep using it. The interface to connect works in mobile and browser or desktop version. It all works in the browser, as said, from any device without any applications, through easy scan, and then just go to the conversation directly. So the end user experience is extremely streamlined and simple. You can set your own disclaimer to basically describe for what purpose it is created for and any other things that you want to highlight. And then you can also set your own example questions or use automated questions that are generated based on the knowledge that you have in your twin. There's further information available then for privacy policy, terms of use, and such basic things. And then on the conversation is very simple and traditional chat interface to communicate with. Then on the owner side, you can basically create a name for it. You can give a short description for it, and tell a little bit more of the role and purpose for the AI agent technology on the background. And basically, this helps you to set up your twin, and it's pretty much all you have to do is upload your picture, fill these couple of fields. Then you will have your QR code available and your own URL, unique URL that is hidden from search engines and so forth. So it only is visible for where you want to make it available and to whom you want to make it available. So the QR code you can get there, and the URL here is also, this is mine directly. And then you can make that QR code available. Like I have it in my watch for networking events, for example. So I can then, when connecting with people, I can say, just scan the code. You can ask for my AI twin for my LinkedIn profile, or if you want to book a time with me, it can give you the calendar link and things like that. So starting to add your own knowledge and controlling your information is as simple as basically uploading simple plain text files. This can be your articles that you have written. This can be your CV. This can be anything that you want to start with. And we have some helpful tools to kind of think what those can be. And immediately when there's information available, the AI will start prioritizing that knowledge into how it interacts with. So think of it that it has this kind of basic knowledge, general knowledge that it uses to understand things and to act as an interface. But then whenever you start adding knowledge to it, it will prioritize that information as its core information. You can then also, once you have added files, you can then add multiple files at once, and then you can just upload those to the knowledge base. And then when you have your knowledge there, you can see the files that have been added as the knowledge. You can download them back by clicking the file name. You can delete those files if you want to remove that knowledge. And if you want to edit knowledge, you can download, make edits, upload again, delete the previous file, and so forth. So very simple to use to make the AI to become what you want it to become. And then on the interactions, in these insights, basically all the interactions that your AI is having, you will have full visibility. So the communication coming from those interacting with, and the responses given by the AI in question, whether that's the product AI or the AI twin. And here it's important to understand that all of this conversation is anonymized, so there is no cookies, there is no tracking of those who interact with. So they are anonymous, so you don't know who is having these interactions, and that's for the simplest way of being regulatory compliant. And then it's up to the individuals if they want, or people interacting, if they want to recognize themselves, they can just say, "Hi, I'm Bob, here's my email, would you be in contact with me," and so forth. And then you can also export these interactions for as a CSV for further use and sorting and analyzing, however you would like to use them. Here we have a link also on the top right corner for help content, and then we can see here this match score. And this match score basically represents that how well is the knowledge matching the queries coming from the users, those who are interacting with. And then in the context, like here, we can see it's 0 score, but you can still see that it's able to answer quite well for that question. So it just means that there isn't exact match for this type of input, and it's basically using what we call between specific knowledge and general knowledge. There is this conceptual knowledge that it forms. This AI forms based on all of the like accurate knowledge given, and this match score is representing the accurate specific knowledge that it can match for this specific input from the knowledge base. And then on the personalization side, here you can edit your own disclaimer, what you want it to say, and then you can decide those example questions, how many are shown, from none to I think 4 or even more. And then whether those questions are automated or you want to create your own questions here and make those available. You can have only automated, or you can have all your own creations, or you can also have a combination of both shown. So that is your setup to get started. So basically it starts like this from the initial status when you get your own access to your own twin that you can use to create your personal AI, or you can create your talking product using it. And if you want more than one, if you want to create both, just feel free to do so and let us know, and just set up your own information, and you are off to the races with your own AI twin that you will get as part of this workshop. So as a quick summary, basically the knowledge base AI gives you control of your information, and with the AI twin technology that you can use on top of your information gives you the body that around your knowledge and information that you can use as an interface to communicate with the world. And basically this sets up your own AI agent for the purpose that you want to start. And it's important to also put this all in the context of where the world is at the moment. So as we communicated in the beginning, the world is very much starting, but it's accelerating fast, and it is very clear where it is heading and how it will go about it through those agentic AI networks. And the speed is unprecedented, and the impact of AI has no geographical borders, no vertical borders. It's only basically divided by those who take action on it and those who wait for the later. And our recommendation for everyone is to just get started and start moving forward with this topic, and keep an eye on your own information, because that is your own and only competitive advantage that you will have in the digital world. Of course, you still have physical products maybe, and that is a different dimension, but you need to start making your product information adapted and available for this agentic world, because in the future there will be machine customers and these agents doing these actions on behalf of the individuals. And this is just this week there has been many announcements. For example, from Google, basically they have this agent or AI mode in their search now, where you can, instead of taking you to what you're looking for, it can just give you aggregated responses like ChatGPT search, but also it can directly go and buy.
Yeah, thank you, Walter. Well, I think that you have shared a lot here. we try to compact many things into this 1 hour session. But now I also want to give the opportunity to the participants, basically to ask any question that they may have. Well, we can also consider that because we are having like a very small audience today. If any of you wants to bring their own personal use case, we can also basically we can also talk around that. But of course, it's your decision. But anyway, I just want to give the opportunity for everyone to ask any question related to the topic that we brought today. And of course, meanwhile, after the webinar, we will definitely share some materials related to the instructions about how to set up your own AI, and also we can share some additional links to see how other use cases work in this space, just to bring more inspiration for you. But if there's no question from anyone, I think that we can conclude here. I think so. So again, thank you, Walter, for the whole presentation, and thank you everyone for attending. We are organizing more webinars like this. We feel that it is something that people, not all individuals, but also companies, need to get more clarity specifically on the knowledge base side. There is too much attention on the tools, but I think it's important to bring more awareness about the importance of properly managing the information that is in your control, and how that information or knowledge management can make you more competitive. So those topics are very relevant if we want to build like very ethical AI for future. So again, thank you everyone, and then see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.